So this is my Christmas project for me. This is a Squier bass guitar that I bought. It's actually a pretty incredibly beautiful instrument, considering the fact that it's like this for like $400, something like that. I got it used. I'm going to put this battery box in it with this router. I'm going to take this pick guard off and drill a hole, and then I'm going to put the battery box around the back here, and I'm going to put a new Audere preamp in, and it's going to make this thing, it's going to have concentric knobs for treble and bass, and then mid-range and volume here, so that I have essentially an active bass guitar. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I've removed the pick guard and clipped off the pickup wires and the ground wire, and now I've drilled a hole at an angle. I did it so that I could put my battery box in right here on the back, and so when I turn it over, you're going to see there's a hole right there where the battery box, that's going to be the corner of the battery box. So here we go. So I have my hole, and the battery box is going to be centered right on that. It's going to be, forgive my video there, it's going to be centered just like this, with the wires going through that hole. And then I need to route out some of this one front section here in order for the preamp. I'm going to route this spot a little bit more. So I had to remove the pickups to do that. I'm going to cover this with tape. That's where I am. Here, I'm routing this area out to make space for the preamp, which is going to fit like, it's going to fit down in here like this. It needs just a little more room. So I'm going to go down basically to the bottom of this thing. Pretty close. Okay, and as you can see now, this is the preamp and the potentiometers, etc. And this dude fits right nicely down in there. I could have gone, I thought about leveling it with the bottom here, but I got about another 1/4 inch, but it's not necessary. I almost routed this too far, but that ledge right there is where the pickup hole is. So luckily I almost messed that up. So anyway, now I'm going around to the back to do the battery box. Okay, so I had this, drew the battery box on there, and I put some tape on there and cut it out. The battery box is here somewhere, but anyway. Okay, up until now, I just routed out stuff that was under the pick guard. Now I'm going for the point of no return. Gonna route this hole for this battery box, so I guess I could always put the plastic cover over it if I mess it up, but anyway, here we go. Mr. Router and I, one little short, small pass at a time, just like 1/4 inch or something to begin with. So here we go. Okay, I just made my first pass, as you see, about 1/4 inch, and look, the battery box fits. The wires, I might need to wallow out that hole just a little bit. We'll see. If we do, I'll probably just wallow it out underneath here in the box. I'm not sure. I may make a little nub right there, because I do have pretty much some room, but I think I'll cross that bridge when I get to it in just a minute. So here we go, pass number 2. So I'm digress a little bit, but I practiced with the router, and as you can see, this is the first one I practiced with, and then this is the second. I was trying to see, I was going to use this as a mold and didn't realize I was going all the way through. I had another piece of wood, but I was going to use this if I had I didn't have the proper router with the little ball bearing on it that I could use with this, or I was going to use this. But anyway, that was my second. As you can see, I'm getting better. This is my third pass. So I do encourage you to practice with the router before doing a freehand on the guitar. You can see here that I've soldered on the battery box connections, and I just twisted them together, used a big piece of shrink wrap, not a big one but a little bit bigger, and soldered them together, and then put the shrink wrap around it. I used a hair dryer because that's what I had, so to shrink them up. Did pretty well. So in this video, you see the ground wire from the bass had to come, and it goes to the ground wire on the on this. It's all backwards on my camera, so I'm having trouble. It goes to the ground wire on the jack, and then a wire had to come from the jack to the pick guard here. So instead of running it from there to the jack and risking messing up that weld, that soldering point. I just ran the 3 together and ran one from here to the bridge, goes to the jack, the other goes right to there, just stops interference. Okay, the last 2 to do are the 2 pickup wires right there. Everything's soldered and tested. The last thing I did was hook up those 2 cables to the pickups, which I did using the diagram, and I tested it, and it sounds good. It has a tiny little buzz, but I think that's I need to check. It's really, really hot, so it's probably just because it's super hot. But there it is. I had to put everything in there. I should have. It was not going to be possible to video and do that at the same time. But it's tight, but it fits. Thank God I routed out that extra space there. That's where the preamp fits, and there's a lot of wires, so just gently push them in there. But everything's good. Gonna string it up and test it. Okay, I have it buttoned up. I have everything down. These knobs are concentric. See how there's a small and a large, and that gives you 4 controls: bass and treble on one, and then volume and mid on the other. So there's the knobs. I'm going to put those on now. There I have my concentric knobs installed, and you can see, you can't see, but when you turn them, they have like a center notch, which is flat. And I, being OCD, I set them up that way so that they're all together. You have to kind of put the bottom knobs up just a little bit, or they're down too low and you can't feel that that notch. Okay, stringing. So here she is all strung up. This is with everything at medium here. Let me see, setting everything to medium. Right there. Turn up the volume. So I just finished the Audere installation. I got the concentric knobs, so I have treble and bass on this one, and I have mid-range and volume on this. So they're just like, you know, you got like a small knob and a, you know, concentric knobs, 2 on each. And I'm playing through my Eden, which is an incredibly great setup, so can't help you if you don't have that. But just a regular everything flat. This is the Squier. Stock pickups. And everybody says, you know, whenever you hear somebody doing one of these videos, they're always doing stuff like, which bassists do all the time. Not. So here's things we don't normally do. So if you need more bass, one thing I really like, you can actually get so much bass it's annoying on this. That's just with the preamp. So of course, hopefully you'll never need that, because if you do, you're wrong. So anyway, but you can turn your trebles down, and if I can figure out where it is, trebles there, turn your bass up, and get the old. Maybe a little less bass, a little more mid. Get that old school sound, like anyway, and then if you want like a more modern sound, you can jack up your trebles and maybe some mids. You can get like have to go down the volume. Turns this thing into a very versatile machine for you, you know. Or just if you want less treble, get more of a little more mid-range. I seem to like the mid-range. More of that mid-range jazz sound you're looking for. I think my old Eden's starting to make some noise. I'm going to have to do some repair on it. So anyway, that's the Audere. I believe I looked at the package, and Audere stands for courage, or guts, and you're going to need some to install this because I had to put a battery box on the back, which I had to route out, and then I soldered the stuff in there. But if you do it, if you have a proper tools, a soldering iron, a router, maybe a Dremel tool. I had to Dremel these guys out. If the ladies don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. If you have those tools, you can do this. And turn this, what I think these things list for $450, into like a $1,000 guitar. It's a pretty damn amazing instrument now. It was pretty nice before. I'm surprised. But anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks, peace. I hope that you like this, and buy Audere. Their preamps are pretty darn nice, and you can get different configurations. Also, if you want to make it easier, buy a jazz bass. You don't have to cut stuff because they have stuff that fits right in the jazz. So, all right, bye.